So, I've been watching a lot of Amazon Prime movies now. I have Amazon Prime, so I might as well do some videos about what I'm watching. Stalker is a 1983 Argentine-American fantasy adventure film directed by John Watson and starring Rick Hill, Barbie Benton, and Lana Clarkson. Okay. Stalker was a modest hit. It did very well, actually. It had a tight budget, did very well, and one thing that helped it a lot was that Conan the Barbarian had came out and had helped create a big market for sword and sorcery films. So now, Stalker did very good on VHS, and I think cable. Now the basic story: Stalker is a barbarian. This witch gets him. The witch says, "Hey, I need you to go and you need to find these magic items. I think there's a sword, an amulet, and a chalice." Okay. Of course, an evil sorcerer has all of these items. So he has to go find the evil sorcerer and he has to, get the items back. The evil sorcerer Munkar is having a fighting tournament. And the purpose of this fighting tournament is to get all the strongest fighters together to kill each other. So there'll be no one to oppose him. Okay. Of course, Stalker gets the sword right away. All right, and he has to go get the rest of the stuff at the end of the movie. So let me do this. I like to do the pros and cons of a movie. Okay, the pros of the movie is actually I like the sets were nice. They spent some good money on the sets. I would say these type of low budget movies like this usually have bad, cheap looking sets. I thought the sets here looked pretty good. There's a lot of eye candy here. There's a lot of big muscular dudes. You got a lot of attractive, scantily clad women. So you like that type of thing. Fighting it's a lot of action in the movie. There's a lot of fighting in the movie. Okay. You like sword and sorcery type movies, you might like this. Love the soundtrack. I actually love the soundtrack to the movie. It has a good sound, a lot of music plays, pretty good soundtrack. There's some violence, some decapitations. Yeah, I would say check out the movie. You might like it. Okay. The storyline and the plot is easy to pick up. It's not a real deep plot. Pretty much, man, if you want to just watch something without having to watch something really complicated, it's not a bad picture for that. Okay. Now to the con part. And there's a lot of those. Okay. There's a lot of fighting in the movie. Fighting isn't that great. Okay, it's not the worst fighting I've seen. It's not the best. These dudes have these big swords, and it's like they're fencing. Like I'm not a fight teacher or a fight instructor. These dudes are like they're fighting like they're using fencing or something. They're doing fencing moves, which was kind of odd. They had these big broadswords like that, and you fighting that way. But fighting's not that great. Stalker. Now I understand he's a barbarian, but he's not really a likable character. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, he's supposed to be the hero of the story. In some ways, he was just as bad as the other guys. Okay. In the first part of the movie, there's a woman who's getting raped by a guy. All right, and some monsters come and attack them. Stalker comes and kills the trolls and the guy who was trying to rape the woman. And everybody's trying to rape this woman. The trolls try to rape the woman and the guy tries to rape the woman. So you're thinking, okay, cool. Stalker's a good guy. He tries to still have sex with the woman. He basically starts taking off her clothes and starts to have sex with her. So basically he's going to rape her too. Fortunately for the lady, he gets distracted. A guy comes and distracts him, and the woman runs away. So she didn't want the sex. So already you don't like Stalker. All right. Then there's another scene later on where he sort of rapes a chick. Basically, he gets a woman. There's a woman companion following around, going with them on his way to this tournament. And he gets up while she's sleeping, takes off her clothes, and starts, rubbing on her titties and stuff. And it's kind of like she doesn't really resist, but he didn't ask her permission. So it's this dude raping her, and you kind of get the impression that basically, even if she said no, it was, hey, he was going to do what he wanted to do. So you don't like Death Stalker, okay? He was not a likable character in here. It was hard to root for him. You got one, pretty much he takes advantage of women. He's pretty much a rapist himself. What else is the movie, man? Some of the camera angles was wonky. In some parts, they tried to do certain special effects, and I guess they didn't have the budget, so they tried to use weird camera angles to simulate stuff, which just didn't look good. Also, the plot makes no real sense, okay? This fighting tournament, I don't have a problem with that. I see why Deathstalker would go there, because he wants to kill this wizard, okay? But from the evil wizard standpoint, you're having a fighting tournament to kill all the strongest warriors. How do you know all the strongest warriors are actually going to take part in your tournament, okay? And how does that stop the people from rising up against you? So that didn't make any sense. It was a thinly veiled reason to get them together, but whatever. Okay. Munkar, he has some nice tricks. He can turn into a young band. He has some illusions. But to be honest with you, you really don't get the sense that he's all that powerful. You really don't get, like, why everybody's so scared of him. I never saw why he's this powerful. Basically, the only thing he really has going for him is that he has these soldiers working for him. That's about it. Also, Deathstalker gets this magic sword, and the sword is supposed to make him invincible. But every time you turn around, the sword's getting knocked out of his hand. Okay? And he pretty much beats guys without that sword. He uses hand-to-hand combat. He doesn't have the sword in his hand, and he's beating dudes. So what do you really need this magic sword for, to be honest with you? And it always gets knocked out of his hand anyway. So the whole magic sword concept, and he's invincible wearing that when he has that sword, I don't really see the point of that. I don't know, man. Then he doesn't really have any real logical reasons for going after this Munkar. At the end, he kills him. He kills Munkar, and he says, I don't want your money. I don't want your riches. I don't want your magic items. I don't want any of that, But I never really got why he was after Munkar, or why he was trying to fight him. I wish they could have given him and Munkar much better reasons for actually wanting to fight each other. I would have said, they could have had Munkar actually kill his family or something like that. Kill his mother or father or his children or something. Give him a reason to actually go after this guy. He really had no real strong reason for actually wanting to fight Munkar or go after Munkar, okay? Other than just this witch told him he needed to go do it, but you've already established that he's basically a rapist and a punk himself, so I don't know why he would go out of his way to do anything this witch was talking about. I don't know, man. I hate this movie. I thought he was a pervert, and I think he's slightly better. And now as I get older, he's slightly less perverted to me, but he's really no better than the people in the movie he's fighting against, to be honest with you. It's not a bad movie, man. But like I said, there's some violence, also some violence in it. It's violent. Storyline is not really deep, so if you're looking for a deep storyline, this is probably not going to be for you. There's a lot of nudity here. Then you got like some women just walking around wearing thongs or pretty much nothing on their bodies. I'm not a super prudish guy, but I prefer my women actually more clothed. I think clothed women look more attractive, and really there's no reason for these women to walk around like that. Like, why are you walking around like that? I don't get it. But like I said, that nudity might bother people. I don't know, man. There's some decapitations in the picture, but it's funny because when he has at some points when he cuts off some people's heads, he doesn't actually swing the sword at their neck. He swings the sword at the top of their head and their neck, and their head gets cut off. Like, how does that work? How do you decapitate somebody? You're chopping them at the top of their head, and somehow it cuts their neck off. I don't know, man. There was some weird stuff in this movie. It's actually, as I got older, I actually like it a little bit more. But it's not the best Deathstalker film to me. Personally, I like part 2 better, so it was just my thoughts. If you want to watch a really cheesy sword and sorcery film with a lot of hot naked chicks in there, a big buff dude, and a storyline that doesn't make any sense, you can do worse than this one. Okay, you know, you can get over some rapes and stuff, or attempted rapes, if that's your thing. But me, I can't really recommend this one. I like the second film in the series a lot better. So, you know, check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. If you got Amazon Prime, it's free. It's worth a watch, I guess. If you can get over some of the rougher elements of it, and just remember that, hey, this is not a modern day film. This is a film that was made back in the day, and you know, people were a lot more liberal, I guess, when it came to pictures. I don't know, but you have to get over some things you might find offensive in this film. So give it a chance if you want to check it out. It's a decent watch. If you already have Amazon Prime, or you're a fan of the Stalker films. Otherwise, I probably would not. I would probably give it a pass.